Hello everyone, I call myself Zondagskind and I like to overthink Civilization VI. This month I'm ranking all the unique infrastructures you have access to as part of a Civs kit, and this is the third installment where I'm looking at the unique districts. As a reminder, unlike the unique units, I'm not fully disregarding synergies with a Civ kit, because unique districts cannot be used by other Civs anyway, and these synergies are more often built into the Civ kit itself, like the Queen's Bibliothèque being automatically themed by Christina's theming ability, and the Nubian Pyramid unlocking a boost to district production. However, I still like a district better that would work for other Civs as well, rather than only being useful because of a specific synergy. But first, I want to remind you that the CivGive is only a week away. On Sunday, December 1, I will be participating in the CivGive and playing a multiplayer game against Lumbago, Peppermint Butler, Raising Zozo, Riddick Acidic, Sassy Gamer Lady, Ursa Ryan, Van Bradley, White Nerdy, and Carl Harrison from Firaxis. But more important than the opportunity to literally beat a Firaxis developer at their own game is the opportunity to raise money for Gamers Outreach, a charity that provides video gaming equipment to children's hospitals. Last year, the donation pool was more than $35,000, and all the creators have special incentives for you to donate money for. I have incentives to rename my cities, teach you how to pronounce a Dutch city name, and make lyrics to a Civ VI song. On the day this video goes live, I will find out what Civ I'm playing during the draft on twitch.tv/thecivshow. So, come find out with me whether I get to build some polders for a good cause. Generally speaking, I've saved the best kind of unique infrastructure for last. All unique districts have a 50% production cost discount, which is a big selling point, and basically all districts from C tier and up are great boosts to their associated civs. The opportunity costs you have to take into account for a unique improvement isn't an issue, and far more often than unique buildings, unique districts are game-defining replacements of something you were building anyway. Having said that, let's get them all ranked from S to F tier. The Greek Acropolis unlocks a drama and poetry and is a fantastic replacement of the theatre square. Its adjacency bonus and free envoy means you'll probably like building them in all your cities. The only point of critique is that needing to put them on hills means you're a little less flexible where to place other districts and wonders as well, so maybe it would have been in S tier without that requirement. In any case, this fantastic first entry easily goes into A tier. Unlocking at engineering, the Roman bath gives you the same bonuses as the aqueduct plus 2 housing and an amenity. I can't give it more than a D tier because it's not a specialty district and therefore is a lot less game defining than a lot of other unique districts, but conversely, you can get it in every city if you want and feel fine about it. It's not the centerpiece of your game, but pretty good nonetheless. Brazil's Copacabana is a very lackluster replacement of the water park unlocking at natural history. At this point, if I wasn't going to build a water park anyway, one extra amenity isn't going to swing the pendulum, nor am I a fan of the Carnival project. Therefore, I might get it in the city that has Mausoleum of Halicarnassus in it, and or a city with a good area of effect, but this goes straight into F tier. As a coastal palette cleanser, we go back to Celestial Navigation and unlock the Phoenician Cothon. It supercharges your settler production as well as the production of naval units. Another bonus I think goes somewhat underappreciated is the full healing on your naval units, since it lets you bring back a damaged boat a lot sooner. It also enables the Move Capital project that can be very powerful for Phoenicia, so this district is getting an A tier from me. I imagine very few people will be surprised by my rating for Germany's Hansa. It's such an easy S tier. Especially with Germany's ability to place an extra district, you should have room at apprenticeship to place Hansas everywhere you want, and you'll easily have adjacencies range from +5 to +10, maybe even beyond 10. The fact that you're incentivized to get your commercial hubs out early is also fantastic, since trade is king in Civ VI. The Hippodrome, which Byzantium unlocks at Games and Recreation, is probably a tier better under Basil II's leadership than under Theodora's, since the free heavy cavalry can attack walls at full strength with him. But even though Theodora won't spam these districts nearly as much, a well-timed triple amenity night spawn is still tasty enough that on balance, I'm going to say that this district deserves a B tier. I feel conflicted about giving the Zulu Ikanda an E tier because it definitely is a central part of your build plans, and the ability to build corps and armies without the military academy is potentially quite powerful. However, the Zulu would just as gladly build a normal encampment, and the extra bonuses are too meager to justify spamming them in cities you would otherwise have left without an encampment. I simply can't find a district to have it change tiers with, so while I can imagine that this is a pretty controversial rating, I invite you to tell me what it should be instead of E tier. Good luck convincing me if you say that I should switch the Ikanda with the Russian Lavra, Unlocking at astrology, even if we disregard that Russia is reliably able to put insane adjacencies on them with Dance of the Aurora, the faster build time and double profit points makes a religion, if not the first one, practically guaranteed. And the great writer, artist and musician points make Russia a great works magnet. Superb, must build Kickstarter of your religion and culture victories, it can only be S tier. I personally actually like the Mbanza, which the Congo replaced neighborhood with. It unlocks much earlier at guilds, which means you can build it instead of an aqueduct if you're so inclined. And the bonuses are genuinely good, with guaranteed housing and food and gold to boot. If getting one boosted conservation, I might be tempted to raise it a tier, but sadly, it never does. And the fate of a good replacement of the worst district in the game is to linger in F tier. The district I would much rather have put down into F tier is the Mayan Observatory, unlocking at writing, because I actively dislike it. I have seen so many maps where I would have been better off with regular campuses, and losing adjacencies when plantations get pillaged by floods, tornadoes, and especially droughts is infuriating. However, as bad as the observatory is compared to the campus, it still is a half-cost science district, and off of that alone, the minimum rank I can give it is D tier. A little more to my taste, to use an understatement, Gaul unlocks the Oppidum at ironworking and then unlocks apprenticeship by building it. The adjacencies that Oppida gets can be ridiculous for the time you first get them, in the early to middle classical era. Getting a +6 off of a quarry, a horse tile, and an iron tile is more realistic than you might think, and as if all of that wasn't good enough yet, you can get outer defenses and a range strike on this district. This, again, is a plain and simple S tier. The most emblematic bonus of the English Royal Navy Dockyard is the extra room for strategic resources in its buildings, meaning you don't have to worry about encampments nearly as much, especially in science games. The other bonuses are nifty, especially the extra movement to naval units, but nothing too insane. While you still want to go to Celestial Navigation and get this district up soon, it's not as hard a beeline as for Phoenicia's Cothon. The C tier reflects that. Instead of the observatory, give me the Korean Seowon every day of the week. Unlocked behind writing, it does get an even stronger penalty than the Acropolis for tying your hands even more if you don't want to damage your lovely +4 adjacencies. However, assuming you can make that work, you have guaranteed half-cost +4 science districts and better farms and mines next to them. That is very good, and I debated an even higher placement than B tier, but it's B I'm going with. Brazil has 2 unique districts, but neither of them are really good. The Street Carnival gets a tier over its coastal counterpart just because you unlock it so much earlier at Games and Recreation, and building it is necessary to try for Colosseum, and in the late game Estádio do Maracanã. A zoo also synergizes with Chichen Itza, which Brazil likes as a wonder anyway, but frankly, you can tell that I'm reaching for benefits here, and it won't get any better than E tier for sure. If S tier had 4 slots, you might well make the case it should include the Malian Suguba, unlocking at currency. As long as you don't run into trouble, you should be able to boost them by putting them next to +6 holy sites, thanks to desert folklore, making it feel almost like Mali has 2 unique districts. The Golden Faith discounts are of course great since they offset Mali's production penalties, and if you consider the Pantheon guaranteed, I could even see an S tier, but on the whole, an A tier shouldn't anger too many people. Last but not least, while Vietnam's Thành replaces the encampment and unlocks at bronzeworking, it isn't considered a specialty district, meaning you can build it alongside a different district upon settling a city. But the district on its own fails to give you the great general point you expect. Not to worry though, the culture from adjacent districts is excellent and you don't have to worry about putting this district into a feature. This is very fun to play around and qualifies for C tier. So that's it, 16 unique districts ranked S through F, and that concludes my appraisals of the Civ's unique infrastructures. Like I've said in all the intros, a C tier district is not the same as a C tier building, just in case you think I'm an idiot for putting the Thành on the same level as the Basilikoi Paides. Other than that, your constructive criticism is welcome down in the comments. I predict someone will be there to defend the Ikanda, and if you like the video, do please hit that like button. I'm hoping to do a full Civ tier list of Civ 6 before Civ 7 comes out. If you want to know if I manage to do that, subscribe and ding the bell, and we will see you then. Bye bye.